Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. Good evening to all of you in YouTube land. Right now the time is approximately 9:25 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. It is 2 nights before the full moon in Taurus. Speaking of which, I believe, and I actually did not look it up, can you imagine? I believe that either the moon is waxing in Gemini or it is in the void of course period. In the description box, it'll be official. I promise. And the sun is transiting in Scorpio. Speaking of which, I'm going to have, some of you know, actually let me go back a little bit. Some of you know that my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, also known as Drake, does a beautiful job with my videos, and I want to have him do a close-up. And yes, Drake, just FYI, there will be close-ups in this video. I want him to do a close-up of the pendant that I'm wearing while the sun is in Scorpio. In ancient Egyptian symbology, the scarab is the symbol of transformation, and in Western astrology, Scorpio, as in the transiting sun sign, is the sign of transformation. So whenever the sun is in Scorpio, this is the pendant that I wear. And you can see the winged scarab, or the scarab, which again is the symbol of transformation, right in the center of the cartouche. I'm actually going to turn the pendant to its other side. I confess, I don't know this symbology, but I do love the fact that the front of the pendant, or for me the front of the pendant, depicts the scarab, which is again the ancient Egyptian symbol of transformation. So, with that being said, I would like to welcome you to my official video for the November 2021 entry for the Many Moons 2021 Lunar Planner. I know it's a bit late. Believe me, I know. So, and it's a bit involved, so there's going to be a little more talking than usual. November corresponds with the waning moon and the dark moon time. This is a time for letting go, surrendering, listening to intuition, reflection, and rest. This year it marks the beginning of eclipse season. We will experience a lunar eclipse in Taurus, which, by the way, is also the same date as the full moon, which is, again, this Friday, November 19th, 2021. So it is both a full moon and a lunar eclipse in Taurus, which corresponds to our collective card of the year, the Hierophant. Wounds might be lifetimes deep, but that doesn't mean you can't work towards healing them. Themes of the month are going deeper, abundance anchoring, intimacy, grief work, mourning, acknowledging deeper desires, year inventory, as in your inventory of the year. This is especially applicable for those of you who are in recovery from an addiction. Needed to bring my coffee closer to me, you know what that means. And shadow work. In parentheses, remember that shadow work can also be about resurrecting the most brilliant and powerful parts of you. With Mercury in Scorpio for much of the month, this could be an opportune time to commune with your depths, shadow, as well as other realms and spirits. The new and full moon prompts are both around ancestor work or calling in support or guides. If that does not appeal to you, this can be a time to focus inward, do shadow work, or welcome rest. Now, I want to say a little bit about that. So, yes, autumn and winter are ideal for shadow work. That dark time of the year in the witch's wheel of the year is absolutely ideal for shadow work. However, as somebody who is a moon magic witch, any time the moon is waning is also an ideal time period for shadow work. And particularly, what I know to be the dark moon tides, which are the 3 nights before the new moon. Now, the most recent new moon was on Thursday, November 4th. So the next new moon will be around that time, and I don't remember that offhand, but I'll probably include that in the description box for this video as well. Nevertheless, Anytime the moon is waning, you can absolutely engage in shadow work. You do not need to wait until autumn, late autumn, or winter for shadow work. You can absolutely do it at any time when the moon is waning. And I find it especially ideal to explore and engage in shadow work during the dark moon tides, meaning those 3 nights before the 3 nights before the new moon. By the way, I make amazing coffee. Oh, thank you, goddess. So yes, so absolutely, anytime the moon is waning, and again during what I know to be the dark moon tides. So, now going on to the rest. Tarot or oracle card pull for the month. Pull a card or cards for the month, or try this epic spread. It is a spread to try anytime you would like to gain insight on your all-over spiritual states. It is called the Spiritual Balance Check-In Spread. Now, for the record, it is designed for a tarot deck. However, as I may have mentioned in some of my previous videos, whenever I use an oracle card deck, I look for the card that energetically and or visually represents the High Priestess card for me. So for those of you who use oracle card decks exclusively, or predominantly, you are more than welcome to use this deck. You're more than welcome to use an oracle card deck to do this spread. I would say start with the card that for you represents the Hierophant card in a tarot deck, and it could be any oracle card deck. I would say any oracle card deck that it has at least 45 cards. And also, because of the nature of this spread, if you're using an oracle card deck that has numbered cards, for the cards that represent the Minor Arcana, see if they reduce to the number 5. Like 5, as in 0 plus 5 equals 5, 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5, 23, 2 plus 3 equals 5, 32, 3 plus 2 equals 5, and 41, 4 plus 1 equals 5. Okay, so this spread is a story about where you might be spiritually or elementally balanced, or where you need more support. This is a choose-your-own-adventure spread. Oh my goddess, I love that. Sarah Faith Goldsteiner, you are phenomenal. You are epic. You are so epic. I gotta read that again. This is a choose-your-own-adventure spread, so modify it to fit your needs. For example, I've only pulled 1 card for each element, which gave me plenty of information. 5s tend to be about spiritual imbalance, about conflict, challenges, core wounds, and other limiting beliefs. They show us where we need to grow. Cups are emotional and spiritual practice. Swords is mindset and communication. Pentacles are worth, work, and the material realm. Wands is ego, control, and will. Obviously, there are more complex meanings to each of these. Your deck might have a keyword on it that changes the tone. To an extent, all of the 5s address beliefs, trauma, or other coping mechanisms one may have developed along their path. Defensiveness, avoidance, separation, delusion, etc. Unlock issues with your own personal 5s, and flow, acceptance, and positive change will more easily make its way to you. I also want to say, as a bit of a sacred sidebar, that my understanding of the number of 5s in the tarot is that they represent change or changes, and it is not a coincidence that within the word challenge is the word change, just like within the word challenges is the word changes. Take out the Hierophant card and place it at the top. Pull out all the 5s in your Minor Arcana and place them so that they become points on a pentacle. The order here is Cups, Swords, Earth, Fire, but you can do any order you'd like. So, here's a printout of a pentacle. I know it looks a little off, but you get the idea. So, the Hierophant would go here, the Five of Cups would go here, the Five of Swords would go here, the Five of Pentacles would go here, and the Five of Wands would go here. So I'm going to do that one more time. If I understood this correctly, and hopefully when the Sarah Faith Gottsteiner watches this video, she'll let me know yay or nay. So, the Hierophant, the Five of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Wands. And you can do it any way you like. So you may be guided to do the Hierophant here, Five of Wands, Five of Swords, Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. You may do it differently. Your intuitive guidance and leading may say something totally different. But since this is the first time I'm doing this spread, I'm going to go with what Ms. Gottsteiner wrote. Okay. Now, I'm going to use my desk's keyboard tray to lay out the cards, but I will hold up the cards. I'm just going to use these as a guideline, the fives, and then I will definitely... did I shuffle? Yes, I did shuffle. Okay, so, and I will have the basics of this in the description box. So, I shuffled the deck, I cut the cards, I put them back together as I was guided and led. Ask, what is the state... Cups, water... Okay, so, what is the state of my water? Cups, and placed it to the right of the Five of Cups so that it fans outward. Yes. Ask, what will this help support me with? And pull another card. And that would be where the Five of Swords would be. So what will help / support me with this? That is to the right of the Five of Swords. And then, let's see. Oh, got it. So for the card that goes after the Five of Cups, what is the state of my water? What is the state of my emotions? And then, what does my emotional life need? And what will this help / support me with? So I'm doing 2 cards after each one. Okay, so what is the state of my mental life? Five of Swords. That card is already there. Okay, and what will this help or support me with? And there is another card after the card to the right of the Five of Swords. Now for the Five of Pentacles, what is the state of my physical life? Or what is the state of my physical health? Or what is the state of my financial life? And I pulled a card. And what will this help or support me with? And I pulled another card. What is the state of my professional life? What is the state of my energy level? And that is going to the left of the Five of Wands. And how will this help and support me? And this card is now going to the left of that left card. And then, what energies will help me? No, I'm not ready for that yet. What is the work of my life right now? And I'm going to cheat a little bit because it says shuffle the deck. So I'm going to actually place the next card directly underneath the Hierophant. And then what energies will help me proceed? And that will be the final message card, which I will turn over at the end. But I will leave the deck here now. Okay. And of course, for the sake of convenience, am I in frame? Okay, for the sake of convenience, I will hold up each card. And since the next video that I'm going to do is my walk through the Crooked Cat Tarot by Samantha Sawyer, I'm actually using a previous walkthrough deck, which is the Fantôme Tarot. Okay, so what is the state of my water? What is the state of my emotional life? And again, this is for the collective. I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of the back of the card design, the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous back of the card design for the Fantôme Tarot deck. And now I'm going to show you the front of the card, and then I'm going to interpret said card. What is the state of my water? What is the state of my emotions? And this is for the collective. So this is for all of you in YouTube land. And ultimately for everybody who watches this video. King of Cups. Ooh, that's deep. Okay, that is deep. So I'm going to say this. First of all, there is this need for balance between what your anxiety is telling you and what your intuition is telling you. This King of Cups is very interesting because for my personal psychic advisor, Roger Pratt, the King of Cups represents Scorpio energy. I find it represents Cancer energy. I find it represents Cancer more than Scorpio. So that's number one. But it is not a coincidence that right now the sun is transiting in the sign of Scorpio, which is a water sign. So this is very apropos. So acknowledge that sometimes the being human experiences insecurity. So take a deeper dive as to what your insecurities are telling you, what is triggering your anxiety, what is triggering you feeling anxious. Is it a person? Is it a situation? Is it a combination of both? Or is it something that is a deep emotional wound that right now is like, I need to take a sip of coffee because that strained my throat. My on-screen mug, I've missed it so much. It is interesting to note, since I mentioned my personal psychic advisor, Roger Pratt, that the King of Cups is the card of the psychic. It is the male counterpart to the High Priestess card. And what will help me, or what will help you, all of us, the collective, balance the anxiety and the intuition? Again, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person from my YouTube videos, also known as Drake, do a close-up of the gorgeous back of the card design. Look at that prismatic, look at that. It's gorgeous. I'm so in love with this deck, I'm telling you. And I must take a moment to thank the Jennifer Ball of Jennifer Ball's Witch House, formerly known as Jennifer Ball's Spiritual Garage, for turning me on to indie decks. And this is the front of the card. So, what will help and support me with balancing anxiety and intuition? The Hermit. Bitches. Even bitches and witches, even an hour of having no contact with the outside world will do wonders for you. I personally think. See, I can't do that. Like, for me, I am forever thankful that my life is structured such that I can turn off my phone and turn off my computer and have no contact with the outside world for 3 to 4 days and be able to totally immerse myself in the realms of the goddess as opposed to the world of men. And forgive the sexist sounding language, this is how it came to me from the great goddess. When I engage in sacred solitude, I am fully ensconced in the realms of the goddess. When I am dealing with the outside world, I am in the world of men. That is how the great goddess delivered it to me, that is how the great goddess said it to me, that is how the great goddess intuited it to me. And I am not going to argue with her. You want to argue with her, go right ahead. Just let me know when you do that so I can charge the price of admission and have plenty of popcorn. Because I want to see that sacred smackdown. Yes, I do. I dippity do. Okay, silliness aside. So yes, even if all you can spare is an hour, make the most of that hour. That, you could even make it convenient. If you're working from home, that'll be your lunch break. No phone usage. Like, all you do is, you don't even take photographs of your food. I know, a lot of us do that. I know, a lot of us do that. But really, seriously, take at the very least an hour, and do it on a day when you really can make that happen. Where you have no contact with the outside world, where your phone is off, your computer is off, and do something that spiritually uplifts you. Journal writing, meditation, prayer. How many of you can meditate for longer than 5 minutes? I tell you, it takes a while, but it's doable. I actually need to do that. I need to engage in meditation for at least an hour. I need to do that. Okay. So moving on. We have the Five of Swords. So, what is the state of my mind? What is the state of my mental health? Oh, you can't make this stuff up. And I happened to glance at the card, and I believe it is a Swords card. Is that correct, Drake? It is a Swords card. You cannot make this stuff up. Remember, for those of you who are new to the tarot, traditionally, the suit of swords corresponds to the air signs. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and relates to one's state of mind. Six of Swords. So, believe it or not, for the most part, all of you in YouTube land, the collective is mentally okay. Now, I need to state emphatically that I am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, I am not trained in those endeavors, nor do I have a license for that. I am simply stating that, generally speaking, intuitively speaking, the tarot speaking, is saying that with regards to the collective, mentally, we're pretty okay. Now, and Six of Swords for me is also an indication that we are moving out of this stuff, this gunk. I'm going to use the term that one of my favorite people on planet Earth, Michelle Swan Graham, Swan of Dreamers on YouTube, would say. Gunk. We're moving out of this phase of gunkiness with regards to our minds. We are not allowing ourselves to be mired in gunkiness. I apologize, I'm getting distracted because Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, is falling asleep, and it's distracting me, so I apologize. I need to focus on you. So Drake, I need you to not fall asleep, otherwise I'm gonna start getting distracted. You're giving me a look, but I saw you nodding off. If you fell on the floor, it wouldn't have been nice. It looked that way to me, just FYI. Okay, I am going to continue. So yes. So, I also need to add, see, I know that a lot of people do the spring cleaning thing. Strangely enough, I've always done an autumn cleaning thing, which makes me wonder if maybe I'm better off living in Australia. Australia, if I pronounced it correctly. What will help us and support us with regards to improving and enhancing our mental health and well-being? Once again, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person from my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the card. Drake had a look on his face. I cannot wait to see this card. Was it the Death card or something? It's the Tower. But I'm laughing because really, one of the very first things I learned about tarot is that there are 3 cards that freak people out the most. Death, the Tower, and the Devil. Everybody goes batshit crazy over these cards. Now, the Tower, I have always interpreted as the Rude Awakening card. So, what is the universe telling you over and over and over and over again? Years ago, I read an expression, and I love the expression, in spite of how goddess-oriented I am. When God wants to send us a message, He tickles us with a feather. If we don't listen, He hits us with a brick. So to me, the Tower card is when God is collecting a wheelbarrow of cinder blocks, and He's not going to give you the luxury of saying, "Look out below." He's just going to like dump the whole cinder blocks on the top of your head and crack it open. So, what is the universe? What is the great goddesses, I would say, telling you over and over again? What is the constant message? And keep in mind that sometimes the message is just this ongoing nudge, like, this is what needs to happen. This is what's going to happen. You need to prepare for this. You need to eliminate that person. You need to begin to cultivate this, etc., etc., etc. If we're not paying attention, that's when it becomes a little more intense and involved. So, for my own peace of mind, and for your peace of mind as well, pay closer attention to the repeated leadings of spirit. Pay closer attention to what the great goddess, what the Lord Most High, what Mother, Father, God, what Yeshua the Anointed One, whoever you call, whatever term you use to refer to the Divine One. What are those messages? What are those constant messages? And pay attention to them, because I think that they're becoming more prominent. Okay, with regards to the Five of Pentacles, what is the state of my earth? What is the state of my financial health, my physical health and well-being, my body, my physiology? And again, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, do a close-up of the card. Okay. Three of Pentacles. You cannot make this stuff up. I'm serious. You cannot make this stuff up. So, guess what? I think that right now, generally speaking for the collective, you are in an okay place, physically and financially. You know, it's so funny because recently I was worrying about money, and I'm like, Robert, you used to lead prosperity classes. You know that when you worry about money, you're not going to attract the money you need. So stop worrying about money. Remember that you're always provided for. Remember the great goddess always provides for you. And guess what? Last night I gave a regular client a reading, and today I received an email from a client who's having her reading with me tomorrow morning. See what I mean? And there you have it. So, generally speaking, right now for the collective, physically we're okay, financially we're okay. That does not mean that we cannot be more okay. I'm going to be doing some walking tomorrow. I'm going to be using the pedal bike. So there's other things that we can do to enhance our physical health and well-being. In previous videos, I have talked about how the prosperity books written by Catherine Ponder have made a huge impact on me. But I know for a fact that Dr. Catherine Ponder is not the only person that has ever written books on prosperity consciousness. You know, for my fellow witches, there is an amazing book. I mean, when I received this from a client as a thank you gift, it glowed. It glowed to me. It's called Money Magic by Christopher Penczak, and I will actually include a link to that book in the description box, and I will tell you it is one of the most brilliant books I've ever read on money magic. It's one of my personal favorites. You know, I'm long overdue to do because I used to do an occasional series of videos for books on, and I think that I need to go back to that. Yes, I know the list of YouTube video topics is never ending for me. What can help and support me with improving my overall physical health and well-being and my financial health and well-being? And this is the card that is to the left of the Three of Pentacles. I shuffled the deck thoroughly. I really shuffled the deck thoroughly. I may not have done it on camera, and I know that there's a school of thought that says, well, if it's not recorded, it didn't happen. But really, I did thoroughly shuffle this deck. Eight of Pentacles. Well, here's the interesting thing. So, when it comes to the Eight of Pentacles, intuitively, I don't look at this card as having a direct relationship with money. I look at it as higher education and continued education. So perhaps you out there in YouTube land would benefit from reading or rereading a book on prosperity consciousness. If you read a prosperity book written by Catherine Ponder, maybe it's time to reread it. If there is another book that you've read that falls along the lines of prosperity consciousness, whether it was Joseph Murphy, that was Durga being cute and stretching in her nap, by the way, because you heard these knocks. So maybe Joseph Murphy, the late and great Florence Scovel Shinn, so there are different options that are available to you. And I cannot believe that Drake is falling asleep. You made that sound, Drake. I think you need to sit up, Drake. You're not going to remain in that position, so please. Stop distracting me. I want this video to be as short as possible, and it's not looking that way. YouTube land, I apologize. I truly apologize. Anyway, so if there's something that you need to learn or relearn about how to be healthier, which vitamins, minerals, supplements, foods, beverages can help enhance your physical health and well-being, as well as what you can do to bring a greater level of prosperity consciousness into your mind and into your being and into your world. This is a great time for that. Now, wands to me first and foremost represent professional endeavors. However, I acknowledge that according to the American Tarot Association, it has to do with spiritual and psychic development. But I am going to use the Hierophant card, or the card underneath the Hierophant card, to represent that. Okay, so, Five of Wands, what is the state of my professional life? What is the state of my spirituality? And here is the card that is to the left of that, and of course I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of that card. Seven of Cups. So, with regards to your professional life, begin adopting the practice of blessing the individuals with whom you work with love and light, or love and luck, as my fellow Cuban Gloria Estefan would say. So, if you're dealing with a problematic person, if you're dealing with a problematic situation, bless it with love and light. Now I want to say love and luck. So you know what? Bless it with love and luck. Or you could do something that Dr. Catherine Ponder has written about in her books. Shoot them in the back, but with love. So the next time you see somebody that you just want to smack the shit out of that bitch, like whack, 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 whack. Just visualize that person's back and shoot them in the back with love. I'm telling you, it is challenging, because I just want to take a bitch, turn them around like whack, 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 but that'll put me in jail. So I don't want to do that, because I would not do well in jail. I may pretend that I'd be running the cell block, but no, I don't believe that for a second. Seriously, shoot them in the back with love. What have you got to lose? And what will help and support me in improving and enhancing my professional health and well-being, my professional success, and my spirituality? Ace of Pentacles. There is a book that I've never read, but the title of that book has come back into my consciousness recently. Do what you love and the money will follow. If memory serves, the author's name is Marcia with an S-H, Sinitar, capital S-I-N-E-T-A-R. And it was not lost on me that within her surname Sinitar is the word star. So, now more than ever, do what you love, because the money will follow. And you may not be ready to leave your position of employment to do what you love, and there's nothing wrong with that. But begin taking the steps to make that happen. I truly believe that it is never too late to start something. It is never too late to start being happy. It is never too late to start a new habit, a new empowering habit. It is never too late to start doing something and start changing one's life for the better. I do not believe that it is ever too late to do that. I don't. I mean, you could be terminally ill with stage 4 cancer, but you have at least a day to make a positive change in your life, to make a prosperous change. And when I say prosperous, I am referring to what Catherine Ponder has written in her books, Open Your Mind to Receive and Open Your Mind to Prosperity. You are prosperous to the degree that you are experiencing peace, health, and plenty in your world. So even if you have another day to live, use that one day, those 24 hours, to bring more peace, health, and plenty into your world and to start something new that empowers you and maybe leaves a legacy behind. With regards to the Hierophant, what energies will help me proceed? And by the way, what energies will help me proceed? And no, what is the work of my life right now? And what energies will help me proceed? For the record, one is supposed to shuffle the deck and then pull a card. I'm cheating by having placed cards underneath those already. So, what is the work of my life right now? That card I placed directly underneath the Hierophant. What energies will help me proceed? That is the final message card. Okay, so last time. What is the work of my life right now? And this could be anything. And I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audio-visual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of this card. And I must admit I have no idea what the card is, so I'm very curious as to what it is. Seven of Swords. Did not expect that. So let's look at the Seven of Swords for a moment. Traditionally, this is the card of theft. So perhaps somebody literally stole something from you. Something tangible or intangible. Tangible like a piece of jewelry that belonged to your maternal grandmother, or a piece of property, or a professional opportunity. Or it could be something intangible like your childlike innocence, or your belief in humanity. Do not let that define you anymore. Lately, I have been talking to people and doing readings for people and doing goddess energy healing treatments for people who have allowed others to take their power. Now more than ever, you have the absolute right and responsibility to take back your power. This person fucked you over. This person did nasty things to you. This person hurt you, wounded you. That does not kill you. It may seem as though it killed you, but it did not kill you, because if you're walking around breathing, you're alive. And keep in mind, I'm somebody that was molested as a little boy, and I'm somebody that was almost raped at 15. So I have bounced back from a lot of things. I've bounced back from things that I'm not even going to discuss publicly and certainly not post online. So I want to tell you something. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can take back my power and take it back from people that have disempowered me for hours or years or decades, so can you. What energies will help me proceed? They want me to say something else, because this has been coming up a lot in my readings and sessions too. Forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive others. And I want to tell you something. Forgiveness becomes easier the more you do it. And earlier today, I was reminded that there's somebody that I need to forgive. I would have much preferred smacking the crap out of him. I really would have. I still do. I would love to just smack the hell out of his face. I really would. But that's going to land me in jail. And I don't want that. I don't want that. And believe me, I will go to... this bitch will go to jail. I promised you that. I don't want to go to jail. So I forgive this person. And I'll be forgiving this person a lot tonight and over the next few days. Now with that, what energies will help me proceed? And this is also the final message card. So again, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of this card. Seven of Wands. I gotta tell you something, when I first saw the Seven of Swords, I thought it was the Seven of Wands. So I find it fascinating that the final message card is immediately followed from the card that I thought that the card wasn't, but the one that I thought it was. I did not say that at all correctly, but you get what I mean. I love the Seven of Wands because it is about victory. It is about great success. It is about one standing above all others. So to use a common expression of the day, you got this. You got this, girl. You got this, boy. You got this, bitch. You got this, witch. You can make this happen. You can overcome. You can absolutely make what you need to happen, happen. And I want you to know I believe in you. I believe that you were going to make this happen, and I look forward to hearing how successful you were at making it happen. I really do. I want to thank the Sarah Faith Gottsdiener for the Many Moons Lunar Journals, the Many Moons Lunar Planners, because they have made a huge difference in my life, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. They have absolutely enhanced my moon magic witchery, and of course they are very pleasing to me. And I know that very soon I will be receiving my copy of the Many Moons 2022 Lunar Planner, and make no mistake, I cannot wait. And I also want to thank all of you in YouTube land for all of the likes, all of the comments, all of the shares, even to social media platforms that I no longer use like Facebook, and even to social media platforms that I have never used like Reddit. And of course to for the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And absolutely thank you to all of you who have been scheduling your sessions, who have already had intuitive card readings with me, rune castings with me, metaphysical consultations with me, goddess energy healing treatments with me, and those of you who are going to be scheduling your sessions. And of course, thank you to all of you who have bought me a coffee. May all of the moon goddesses and moon gods lovingly, lusciously, and lavishly provide all of you and yours with peace, health, and plenty. Good night, and stay tuned for the next video.